In this video, we are going to draw the vent cover in AutoCAD. Here is the vent cover dimensioned. However, for this lab, you don't actually have to add the dimensions. You just have to add the entities drawn in black. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is just draw the objects that seem easy to draw. So like this ellipse, this polygon, and this circle. And then we will go ahead and draw one of these slots here and use the mirror command to create these other three slots. So let's get started. The first entity we'll draw is this outer ellipse. I'm going to draw it at my origin 0, 0. So in the draw panel, I'm going to select the center ellipse. The center point is going to be 0, 0, enter. Make sure you turn your ortho mode on, or you can hit F8 on your keyboard. An easy way to remember that is F8 keeps it straight, right? So the first thing we're going to do is specify our major radius, and the entire diameter of this is 8, so we're going to type in 4 here, then hit enter. And then we'll do the minor radius, and that's going to be 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5, enter. Okay. Now we can draw this diameter 1.5 inch circle. So go to your center diameter command. The center point is going to be 0, 0, enter. And the diameter is going to be 1.5. And the last thing before we get into the slots are these two polygons here. In the dimensions, we can see that it's 3, the center point is 3 inches in the horizontal direction from the origin. So we know the center point of this polygon is going to be 3, 0, because we have to go to the right 3 and we don't go up or down, so it's going to be 0. So everyone click on your polygon command. The number of sides is going to be 6, because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Enter. The center point of the polygon, again, is going to be 3, 0, enter. And this is going to be circumscribed about the circle, because imagine drawing a circle inside, or here's a better one. If you draw a circle inside of here, the circle inside is going to have that diameter of 1. So from the top of the circle to the bottom of the circle will have a diameter of 1, meaning that the circle is going to be inside and the polygon is going to be circumscribed about the circle. So click circumscribed. And the radius is going to be 0.5 because the diameter of that circle is 1. So type in 0.5, enter. And then we are just going to mirror this on the other side. So select the mirror command. We're going to select the polygon and hit enter. And then for the mirror line, I'm going to select the center point, or the center of the circle, and just draw a line down. Make sure your ortho mode is on for this, so you get a vertical line. And then click again, and erase source object, select no, because we want to keep this polygon. All right. Now we are going to draw these slots here. The first thing I'm going to do is draw some reference lines. I'm going to draw a line from the center here and a line from the center down. And then I'll create an offset, because it says it's 0.75, so I'll offset that line by 0.75 and offset this line by 1 here. So click line command from the center of your circle here. If your center isn't showing up, just hover over the edge to wake up the center. And make sure in your object snaps, I have endpoint on, midpoint, center, quadrant, and intersection turned on. All right, so I'll click the center of the circle, click again, escape. Hit your line command, draw a line down, escape. Now we're going to offset. You can click here to offset, or you can just start, you can type O and the offset is selected, so hit enter. The first distance is going to be 0.75, enter. So click this line and offset that down, escape, and we're going to offset again. The second one is 1, enter. Click this line and move your cursor to the right and then click to set the offset. All right. So we have this 1 and we have this 0.75. And what those are referencing are two things. The first thing is the right quadrant of this circle here. And then it's also referencing the center point for this R.75 circle. The reason why you know that, or this arc, not circle, the reason why you know that that's the center point is because it has that plus sign right here indicating that's the center point symbol. And the lines are going through these 3 arcs there. So all 3 of these center points are going to be right here, but we're only given dimensions for one of them. So we know that we can draw in this 0.75 arc. Or I'm just going to use a circle and then trim. So I'm going to go to center radius circle. From this line that we drew, I'm going to type in 0.75, right? Then I'm going to hit the trim command and trim. Okay, so trim those two, hit delete on your keyboard to end the command. I'm just going to click on this and click delete on my keyboard to erase that point. Now we're going to create these 2 entities there. There's different ways you can do this. I'm just going to use the offset command. So we know that I'm missing one dimension here. Let me add that really quickly. Annotate dimension. In the book, there is a dimension right here. Okay, that says 0.25. I'm going to move this on this side. All right, just notice that I'm missing this one here. Okay. Let me just move this a little closer. Okay, well, that's good for now. But there's this 0.25, so we know that the radius of this circle is 0.25 because from the center to the right side is 0.25. The same thing from the center to the bottom right here is 0.25, meaning there's a radius of 0.25. So if half of this is 0.25, this whole thing is 0.5. So anyways, we know that this arc is 0.25 from this arc, and this arc is 0.25 from this arc. So we'll just go to home. Let me just change my layer. Okay, we're going to hit offset and then 0.25 as the offset distance, and click this one arc and move it down, and click this other arc and move it up, and click. Make sure to click once you move your cursor. Okay. So now we have both of these slots here, and technically you won't need this slot here. That's just an annotation slot. For annotating you will, but for the lab you won't. So now we just need to indicate the center point for these 2 radius of 0.5 circles here. So what we can do is just use the line command and draw another reference line. So I'm just going to draw a line straight up and another line just from this slot to the left here. Make sure your ortho mode is on. And we know that the center point is 0.25 away from this line. As you can see, 0.25 from here to the center point is 0.25. So I'll just use offset again with an offset distance of 0.25. Then I'll click this line, move my cursor to the left and click, and move this line and move my cursor up and click, escape. All right. So now we know that this is the center point for the last circle we have to draw. So we'll do a center radius circle, click the center point here, and the radius is 0.25, enter. Do that again for right here, 0.25, enter. Okay, and then I'm just gonna delete these lines because it can get confusing. Right now with all these reference lines, we haven't learned layers yet, so in the future you can put that in a layer, but for now we'll just delete them. And we also do not need this line right here. And then I'm going to draw a line from the top quadrant to the end of this arc, escape. You can hit the line command again or hit space on your keyboard to use the same command that you just used. So click the endpoint here, escape, hit the space bar to use the line command again, click the endpoint to the right quadrant of the circle, and one more time. Then we'll hit trim command and trim those there. And the last thing we need to do is just use the mirror command to mirror this in those 4 spots there. So I'll click mirror. I'm going to select all of these entities here. Oops. And then if I accidentally selected the polygon, so hit shift on your keyboard and click the polygon to deselect the polygon, hit enter. And the first mirror line, I'm going to hit this center point, move this to the right and click. Erase source object, no. All right. And then I'm going to do that one more time, select those, hold shift and select those objects, hit, oh, I haven't hit the mirror command yet. So those are selected. Now I'm going to hit mirror and it says specify mirror line. Okay, so I'm going to do the center point. Again, hover over the edge to wake up the center point. Click the center and then move your cursor straight up with ortho mode and click again. Erase source object, no. And there is your vent cover.